Alright, get into a party. So, the goal for this video is to find out what does more damage to destroyers. The AP or the HE. Now, if you're new and don't know, high explosive HE does less damage, or less maximum damage, than armor piercing, but it'll always detonate, dealing some always significant damage. However, if you use AP, you can get a lot more damage, but it has the chance of over penetrating or ricocheting or all the things, causing it to get 10% or no damage at all. So, I figured the Schultz would be the absolute perfect destroyer to test this with because of its high amount of HP and excessive armor. Now, we are in an Iowa class battleship. I figured this would just be the best ship to use this in. Now, we are going to test at different ranges as well. Now, obviously, we do spawn in the middle. So, what's going to happen is we're going to get within a certain distance whenever they are bow in or something of the like, and we are going to shoot HE at one and AP at another, and there'll probably be another one, and we'll see, and we'll use whichever one does more damage at that point. We'll use that as a testing dummy as well, because RNG is a big factor in this, which is a little bit of annoying, but we'll have to deal with that. Now, obviously, we can only guarantee hits at absolute point-blank ranges, so this might take a little while. And if it does come down to needing to take like 7-ish videos for me to get the point across that HE, most, if not all the time, will be the better target or better shell type on a destroyer, just in my opinion. Now, we are going to probably test these at different angles as well to see, because maybe you can get a singular full pen on a destroyer. We do have AP loaded at the start. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start us off at the base detectability for these is 7.4 kilometers, I think. Maybe 7.4. These are very bad detectability boats, if I'm not mistaken. Could be 6, but pretty sure it's 7. But anyway, we'll start at the base detectability range, whether it's 7 kilometers or 6 kilometers. It'll be at the 0.4 mark, of course. Probably be that kilometer, though. Because if it would be 7.4, we could slow down in the 4. And 6.4, we could slow down by 6, hopefully. There we are spotted. Now, it won't take a lot of distance to close before I will have a radar available. But the radar's pretty much useless at this point, because we're going to go up to spot them anyway. The annoying part about this will be the fact that we will win on points, because I will probably end up capturing the base. I'm not even halfway through, and the base is halfway capped. Even though I'm allegedly the fastest battleship in the game, going several knots slower than the fastest battleship. Who knows? Just someone who looks at reason. But we should be able to deal some pretty significant damage to these guys with AP and HE. But like I said, the goal for this is to test which is more effective. Now, we have been spotted for an incredibly large amount of time. basically 2 minutes now. This is enough time to be dead struck by anything. Quite literally. It was 7.4. Or maybe 7.3. But we will be using the front two guns, because most of the time, if you're closing in on a target, especially a destroyer this close, you're gonna only use your front two guns. If you miraculously survive, maybe you'll get the rear gun. If you survive. So, here we are. We are stopped. Decent RNG to begin with. We got 2 hits, a full pin, and an overpin for 2,700 damage exactly. Now we're going to take another shot and to see if we can get any better RNG or worse RNG, and then we'll start closing some more distance. So we can actually test the HE here as well. Yep, two full salvos, and we've done all of 5,400 damage, a fifth of his health, and we've broken his engine. Which, you know, they get a damage con every 40 seconds. A singular engine mishap is really not going to be what's the problem. Now, someone said breaking up the engines and whatnot, that'll be a nice way to keep the destroyers off of you. Me personally, I think destroying the thing they're shooting at you with, their torpedoes, is a little bit more important. Horrendous RNG. We didn't even hit him and we incapped. We already tripled our incapacitations. We literally didn't even hit him and we tripled our incaps. We'll need to hit him. I did take a fair 2 salvos, and that, you know, there's RNG for you. I hit him twice with the AP for 2 penetration apiece. For a single shell, I did well over half the damage with just the singular HE shell. There they are. They're going to be detected now as we move a little bit closer. Now, assuming you're capable of getting a broad, well, we'll leave the rear turret out because you won't get that involved in a destroyer fight like this, especially this close. Now, assuming the destroyer is rushing you, you'll be able to close this distance extremely quickly. Very extremely quickly. Now, realistically, you would end up holding your shot, but we'll park up here. Now, you would end up holding your shot. This is an angled Schultz. Probably didn't need all of these DDs, because there's a lot of them. We'll end up parked here at probably 2.5 kilometers. Plenty enough for a destroyer to hit all of his torpedoes on you, and you get dead struck without dealing any actual damage to him. So, now that we're stopped, we are at 2.5 kilometers. Here's the HE Sonova. 7,025 damage. And he's on fire. Double fire, actually. We got a good 7,000 out of that one. He's probably going to sit there and burn. So we're going to move over to this target with the AP. A little bit less scientific on it, but waiting for 7,200, I believe. Oh, I had a rear turret though, so we'll exclude that one. I should be paying more attention, and I'm not. So here's the angled salvo. We do overmatch. We're more than capable of it. We hit him for a solid, what? 6,000? 6,200? And we broke his engine. We'll call it a 6,500 salvo. And you can just look at his health bar, really, and figure out how much more damage. There you go. Perfectly bow on target right here. Now, I know he won't burn to death, but we'll leave him be. Now, here's a perfectly, you know, a Schultz just minding his own business. Make sure we have plenty of range of motion here. You know, at this point, any damage is completely irrelevant. You're gonna die anyway. There again, we got 6 full pens. We did, looks like 7,000 damage this time. Sure, it's eating at all of these guys that there's a base captain that don't have one, and there's a broadside battleship right here, and they could tore me into oblivion, and they're incapable of it. So there's the damage that we got on AG. We hit all 6 shells. I hit 3 shells. There's an example of RNG. And we did almost equivalent damage with half the shells. You don't realize how slow they can turn until it's peaceful like this and you have nothing better to do but watch them turn? Shot everyone but that guy? Why? Didn't even engage. Look, those ones engaged. Those ones didn't. Odd. I don't even think I hit you. I hit 2, and I hit probably 1 on this guy. Did more damage, and I hit 1 less shell. Really not a lot more to be said. There really isn't. HE is really the superior shell type to use. Now, we've got a couple more hits that we're gonna get on these other destroyers, where RNG is a much larger factor. Die. Now, at ranges like that, granted you're still going to hit 5 or more shells, and he is sitting still, and he could, say, turn into said shells, but yeah, I'd be satisfied with a hit like that, with just 4 shells hit, and I took, you know, a massive chunk of his health, and set him on fire, which is like a, what, 30-second fire? Very, you know, detrimental to his health. You know, and fires is a side effect of HE. You count that damage. But AP, you break his engine maybe? Like, what does his engine do in the consequence of the battle? Alright, we ended up with nearly, let's say, 9,000 damage on that salvo. Hit the same number of shells, 6,000 damage. It doesn't seem like a lot, and yeah, you're going to do a lot more damage with AP. on a cruiser or battleship. But on a destroyer, you're gonna want to shoot some HE. Even if you just hit 5 shells, you're dealing 10,000 damage. I hit 3 shells and I chunked half his health, and he has a fire on him now. You know, we're like the damage that I'm also. We've barely killed 3 of these guys, almost 4, and we're at 100,000 damage. By the way, to show you how little your damage is in a game like that. Once we're moving, we do have significantly less accuracy. Of course, RNG says otherwise. He's using 5 shells. There you have it. I did forget to choose the AP, but that'll be fine. We'll just finish off this guy. We'll get 1 more salvo off. Look, here on the Schultz, you can look at this Schultz. If I chunk at him with some HE, I can guarantee a 5,000 damage hit if I hit just 3 shells. Four times 1350, you know, you're pushing up 5,000 damage. You know, you have 5,000 damage, and when you compare that to 6,000, it isn't a huge difference. Yes, but when you're shooting a destroyer point blank, where that health matters, then you get to see the effect of what you're doing.